Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Before starting my video, if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do, and do not forget to turn on notifications as I'm sharing great content for you all the time. Alright, with this video we're going to start authentication and authorization system for our API project. So we're going to use identity library and JWT token system for authentication and authorization. But before starting our authentication system, I would like to add a small improvement for our project. Let me explain what it is. If you have a class, let's see an example. Actually, I already did this feature. I already add this feature to my project, and I'm going to show you how I implement it. Let me show you. You don't have identity section yet. I add all identity related features at the moment. We're going to go through step by step. Probably it's going to take 3 or 4 different lesson video, but please just focus on AutoSeed section. We're going to add our AutoSeed feature first, but I need to show you an example for you. So this identity section, definitely you don't have this section, but do not worry, we're going to implement step by step. If you can see, if I add a data as a static data with the AutoSeed attribute, once we do a migration, it's going to be implemented automatically. This is what I'm trying to do. Okay, let me close it. Let's keep it for a second. This is you can have a look this as an example, but how are we able to enable it? All right. First of all, I'm going to add. Let's go to domain. Let's add an abstraction which is called I have AutoSeed Data. Please create this interface under abstraction folder. All right. And I can understand you can see some difference abstraction at the moment, but they are all related our new feature authentication authorization. Please ignore them. Just add the I have AutoSeed Data. If you follow the order of my videos, you won't miss anything. Do not worry about that. Alright, the first interface you need to add I have AutoSeed Data, because we need to tag our entities with this interface. Alright, once you add it, create an attributes folder and create an attribute using an inheritance from attribute class, and we just only aiming use this AutoSeed data attribute for property. That's why I define an attribute usage, attribute target to a property. Perfect. Alright, so I have AutoSeed Data done. We add our attribute. All we need to do, let's go to define our logic for processing AutoSeed Data. So let's go to AppDB context. Yeah, we are in AppDB context. So previously, if you remember, we did some changes for domain elements as outbox messages. Now we're going to add a new method, process AutoSeed Data, and I forgot to add the letter here. Okay, this is the method. So basically what it does, we using a reflection, sorry, not using, actually we using how can I say, basically we are scanning all the entries, all the changes in our all the entities in our project, and we're trying to find classes which have I have AutoSeed Data interface, and once we found the entity who is using I have AutoSeed Data, we are getting the properties because we are defining as a property. So this is a property, okay, as a static property, which is app role for this example, and this property returns a new app role data. Okay, so we are finding the I have AutoSeed Data implemented classes, and we are getting all the properties, and we are looking those properties who has AutoSeed Data attribute. We are aiming exactly these data. Yeah, and then we are iterating them using a bunch of logic, and we are creating a new instance of the property info. Then we are using has data method to create a new data to our add to our database. If there is an error, so I create a new exception which is called internal server exception, and I'm returning this error. Okay, once you create your process AutoSeed data, let's have a look our exceptions. Let's go to API. Let's go to domain. So here is our exceptions. As you can see, I have added a couple of different exceptions right now. I can understand you can see all of them, but they all belong to identity section. Please ignore them. All you need to do is adding internal server exception, and I didn't define any error code because this internal server exception can be anything. So if you would like to just throw a customized internal server exception, all you need to do is give a failure error code and error message. Otherwise, you're going to throw a normal internal server error exception. And do not forget, add this exception to your middleware. Here we go. If you go to API project, and if you go to where is my middleware? Yeah, middleware, global hand exception middleware. Here we go. Do not forget to add your exception here. As you can see, there are 3 different exceptions added, but ignore them. As I told you before, they all belong to identity section. And yeah, how we going to add our AutoSeed process. So all you need to do is add a new AutoSeed data using a static property, and you will, once you do a migration, your data will be added to your database. Okay, let me show you how it can be done. Let's have a look at our migration data. Let me have a look. This is AutoSeed roles. As you can see, once I run my migration, this new data just implemented to my DB. Perfect. Okay, so but do not do any migration yet because app role class we didn't create yet. Once we continue our identity library authentication authorization, we will create this file together and we will do our migration together as well. So just how can I say, calm down and don't do any rush. We will do all of them all together, guys. I'm assuming you understand how we able to add our AutoSeed mechanism to our project. It's quite useful. Another thing, why do we need those things? AutoSeed data, because if you would like to have a static data in your project to make some comparison or select the exact role using their ID or name, so we need kind of static data, and at that time that static data, if you want them saved in the DB, so we can use AutoSeed data with the static properties using AutoSeed attribute, and I have attribute interfaces. Alright guys, I'm gonna finish this lesson here. It's a quite small lesson but crucial information I show you. I'm assuming next lesson we make official start for authorization and authentication section. Take care of yourself. See you on next lesson. Bye bye, and do not forget to drop comment below the video, and please crush the like button. Bye bye.